Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Mezco 112 Collective Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Casey Jones. And this figure is a Mezco exclusive. It was available on their site for like 8 minutes or something like that. It sold out very quickly, and then they had a limited supply available at San Diego Comic-Con 2024. That's where I got this one, and I'm hyped up because Casey Jones was one of my favorite characters when I was a kid. And yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting off with the packaging, as you can see here, we do have some like Mirage style artwork that looks amazing. It says Mezco exclusive, Casey Jones, Eastman and Laird, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nickelodeon, 112 Collective, all that good stuff. On this side of the box, we get some more cool looking artwork. Back here, some more Mirage comic style artwork, and that just looks amazing. And then over here, is this the same as on the opposite side? No, it's a little bit different. So that's cool. And yeah, the packaging is collector friendly. Thankfully, they use the smaller box style, not the big crazy Mezco boxes that they use sometimes. I like when they fit everything into the tiny little box because, you know, it's easier to store and it can hold all the accessories. So there we go. But enough about the pretty box. Let's go ahead and get Casey Jones out and take a look. Oh man. Okay, so here we have Casey Jones. And right out of the box, he did have the unmasked head, but I had to put the hockey mask head on there because it just looks so badass. And man, just like with the Turtles, Mezco did a phenomenal job on Casey Jones. This figure is so badass. Right out of the box, I freaking fell in love with it. Man, it is so cool. Casey Jones's design works perfectly for the Mezco aesthetic because, you know, he does have this clothing and stuff, but to be honest, like Mezco probably didn't even have to work that hard to make sure that the soft goods look like it fit good because it doesn't really have to. Like his like design is just kind of thrown together. He's got this ripped up jean jacket, a crop top, the sweatpants. It's just like all this clothes. It kind of looks like he's been wearing it for days, so it's kind of all messed up. Maybe he stole this jacket from somebody or whatever. Like it doesn't have to fit perfectly to the figure, and that's like perfect for Mezco. Because a lot of times, you know, they do some superhero stuff and like, you know, spandex and things like that that have to fit perfectly, don't always work well. But with Casey Jones, they didn't have to worry about that. They could just throw this crazy looking jacket and sweatpants and crop top on there and, you know, it represents the character perfectly. So, yeah, this must have been like a dream character for them to do. Man, they killed it. This is such a dope figure. I don't think I have any complaints. It's one of those where it's like right out of the box, you're like instantly in love with it. And you know, he does have some options because he can remove this jacket. Let's go ahead and take this off. I think if you take the jacket off, it gives it more of a classic look. But even when you take the jacket off, look at, oh man, everything just looks perfect. And you know, as you saw, the jacket came off with no problem at all. Or vest, I keep calling it a jacket. But man, look at this. A perfect Casey Jones figure. This thing is so freaking dope. And then taking a look at the detail on Casey Jones, everything looks really good. Starting off at the head, I think this is a great looking Casey Jones hockey mask head sculpt. I love the attitude in the eyes. It's very well painted. Mine does have a small spot on the nose that I'm not able to see with my naked eye, but when I'm zoomed in on camera here, you know, all the little details are exposed. But aside from that one tiny imperfection, everything else on the mask looks beautiful. So this is a great looking Casey Jones hockey mask head sculpt. And then he does have like the straps going around the head here. And look at the details on the straps. That looks really good. And then the hair looks nice. And the hair is soft plastic, so yeah, it's not like gonna chip or break or anything. It's very soft, so that's cool. But yeah, man, this is an awesome head sculpt. And then moving down to the body, check out the jacket. This looks really good. Around the sleeves here, it can fray a little bit. And in some cases, that would kind of suck. But for Casey Jones, it's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter at all. And then he does have some buttons here. I don't know if this is supposed to come up, but it does come up. And it's not like a fully functional pocket, but it looks good. And over here, a little bit more fraying around the shoulders here. But again, it all looks awesome. Yeah, this is a great looking sleeveless jean jacket. And then he does have his iconic crop top. And this all looks nice. It's got some muscles down here. Dang! There you go. And then for the arms, he has some muscles and veins and stuff. And, you know, all the joints look good. And check out the gloves. And then the sweats look really good too. You can see that we have a knot tied here in the front. And yeah, the material for the sweats is nice, you know. It's not like too tight. It doesn't really restrict the movement too much, and it looks good. Everything is stitched very cleanly. And then down here he does have some socks under the sweats. So I like to pull the sweats up a little bit and just kind of make them look even more crazy. And over here, the sock comes down low. And then check out his dirty ass shoes. Dang, Mezco goes crazy with the details. Even has designs at the bottom of the shoes. Man, they're insane. Look at that. So yeah, man, it's a great looking figure all the way around. In my opinion, it's a perfect looking Casey Jones. I love everything that they have going on here. The soft goods look awesome. The sculpted areas are perfect. And I just think it's a great looking figure. And then for accessories, Casey Jones does come with a bunch of really great stuff, including 3 different head sculpts. Here's the first one. This is the one that we've already looked at. Like I said before, I think it's a great looking Casey Jones classic hockey mask look, you know, so I'm a big fan of this one. But I will say, I like his alternate masked head a little more. So what we have here is like a battle damaged Casey Jones hockey mask head sculpt. And to me, this looks amazing. This is my favorite out of the two. Check out all the battle damage. Definitely looks like he's been through a couple of wars. Look at him, boom. That looks so good. But both of the head sculpts are perfect in my opinion. I love these. But the battle damage look just kind of works with Casey Jones's whole look a little better, you know. And then he does come with an unmasked head. And to me, this is like a perfect unmasked Casey Jones. It looks so good. Look at the attitude on his face. Definitely looks like he's up to something. Or he just made some kind of smart ass remark. Look at that, man. He's got that smirk going on. Really, really dope. And then he does have his 80s style mullet back here. And that looks kind of crazy. The hair looks good. The face looks good. Look at that, man. That is perfect right there. And then Casey Jones does come with a bunch of hands. So first off, we get a pair of fists. Then we get a set of open relaxed hands. We have a set of open dramatic hands. We have a pair of like generic gripping hands. These can be used to hold on to all the different weapons that he comes with. And then for the last set of hands, he has a pointer finger for the left side and then like a weird kind of clawed hand for the right side. Not really a claw, but you know, like a claw shape. So yeah, I think they did a pretty good job with the amount of hands. They didn't go overboard with this. Sometimes Mezco does. They'll throw in a shitload of hands. But in this case, we got like, you know, 5 sets. I think that is pretty damn good. And then he does have a pair of goalie glove hands. Check these out. As you can see, they are different styles. This one here is like a black and white one. And it looks great. Look at all the detail on there, you know. That looks really well done. And then on this side, he has the big brown padded one. And this is crazy. Look at that. Definitely looks like it's kind of old and used. But the detail on there is insane. And then check out on the inside as well, like all the leather and the buttons and different kind of things. And then check out the leather on the glove itself. And both of these hands have gripping hands, so you could still hold on to his, you know, hockey sticks. And it's pretty cool how they did these things. So they're like 2 separate pieces, and both sides kind of work the same way, but you just take the hand off, and then this piece slides over the forearm. And yeah, I think this is a pretty good way to do it. That way you still maintain some movement at the hand itself. Although it can be difficult to get it on the peg if you don't know exactly where it's at. Like I can't really tell if it's all the way on there. Yeah, it is. But on the other side, it's a little bit more difficult. But I still like the way they did it here so you can maintain movement in the hand itself. And Casey Jones does come with a bunch of sports themed weapons. And what I love about this is that he could put all of his weapons into his golf bag. As you can see, all of his equipment is in there. It fits in there nicely. And this thing is really, really cool. Check out the stitching on there. Look at the like leather wear. That is so nice. So yeah, this looks really good. There's some additional like fake pouches on here. There's like a wire up top so you could kind of like tighten it down if you want to. Let's go ahead and pull this off real quick. You don't have to pull Casey Jones's head off to take off the bag, but it makes it a little easier. But look at this. This is so good. I really love the leather wear right here. Definitely makes it look like it's old. And then let's check out the weapons. So we'll start off with the hockey stick. And the hockey stick does have some tape wrapped around here. I like how the wrap around the handle is all old and grimy. And then he does have a goalie stick. And mine looks really good, except it does have a little paint imperfection right there. Maybe I could touch that up. Not a huge deal. But yeah, that all looks nice. Let's see what else we have in here. A cricket bat. And look at the detail on the wood here. It looks like actual wood. Man, look at that. Look at all that detail. And then the handle. Man, Mezco is so crazy when it comes to accessories. And just the amount of detail and love they put into the accessories, it's really unmatched. And let's see what else we have going on in here. A couple of baseball bats. Again, it looks like real wood. But it does look dinged up, like he's been using it to bash some bad guys. Almost done. He does come with a lot of stuff. But just like the hands, I like that they didn't go overboard with the accessories. They gave a really good amount. And he has a metal baseball bat. Look at that. Damn, how'd he dent that up? And let's see. I think there's another baseball bat in here. Oh yeah, here we go. We've got like the broken baseball bat. Jeez. And then finally, a golf club. And then this looks really nice. Check this out. Yeah, man, just all of the accessories are just so well done. Everything here looks amazing, including the golf bag. So I love all the weapons that he comes with. And even though he only came with one set of gripping hands, the gripping hands he has works for all the different weapons. Like, they're tight enough to where nothing in there feels like too loose, but they're also soft enough to where you could get the things that have bigger handles in there with no problem. So that's cool that they did that. I was kind of expecting a bunch of different gripping hands, or like a pair of gripping hands for each set of weapons or whatever. I'm glad they were able to make this one set of gripping hands work. And yeah, they look good with all the different weapons. He's able to hold everything with no problem at all. So I was happy to see that. And then now for some size comparisons. Here we have Casey Jones alongside both of the Mezco 112 Collective Ninja Turtles Raphael figures. On the left, we have the standard version. On the right, we have the animated series inspired version. And I think Casey Jones looks really good next to both of these. And I really hope that Mezco gives people another opportunity to get this Casey Jones. They released the Turtles twice, so hopefully they release him twice, because a lot of people missed out on him. And you know, it's a shame if everyone can't get him, because he looks so good next to the Mezco Turtles. And then here we have him alongside a knockoff of the NECA Mirage Comics Michelangelo. On the opposite side, we have the Return to New York Leonardo. And man, I love the way Casey Jones looks alongside this Mirage Comics Mikey. They look so good together. And then here we have him alongside the SH Figure Arts animated series Donatello and the NECA animated series Leonardo. And even though the Mezco version has a very like realistic, more gritty look, I still think that he looks pretty good next to the animated series versions of the Turtles. Like, I think he fits in with them pretty well. And then here we have him alongside the NECA Mirage Comics Casey Jones. And then on the opposite side, we have the animated series Casey Jones. And man, as a big Casey Jones fan, it's awesome to have all these different versions of him. And every single one of these figures is great in its own way. I personally like the Mezco one the most, but NECA did a great job on the ones that they did. I especially like the animated series one from NECA. That thing is awesome. But the Mirage Comics one is really great too. So yeah, it's cool to see Casey Jones get so many different good figures. And then next we have him alongside the NECA Last Ronin. And then on the opposite side, we have the Fury Toys Spring. And man, I would love to see Mezco do a Last Ronin figure. His look is perfect for the whole Mezco aesthetic. You know, he's got like a whole costume on. So that could all be made of soft goods. I think they would do a great job with it. Especially judging by how well they've handled the Turtles so far. I think they would absolutely kill it with the Last Ronin figure. Hopefully they do that eventually. And then here we have him alongside the NECA Mirage Comics Master Splinter and the NECA Mirage Comics Fugitoid. And Master Splinter is another character that I would like to see Mezco take a stab at, but it would be interesting, you know, because he's a small character, so what can they do to kind of justify the standard Mezco price. Maybe they can make him a part of like a 2-pack with Fugitoid or Usagi Yojimbo or something like that. I don't know. I would like to see how they would handle Master Splinter. But to be honest with you, this one right here is pretty much perfect. I love this one. And it has like a soft goods, you know, robe on. So it definitely does the job. I think it works really well with the Mezco turtle stuff. As you can see, he looks great next to Casey Jones. So, you know, if Mezco never gets around to Master Splinter, I think I'll be all right. But it would be cool to see how they would handle it. And then here we have him alongside a NECA animated series Foot Soldier and the NECA animated series Shredder. And I would love to see Mezco do Shredder too. I'm sure they would do a great job on him. But yeah, for now, I think these guys look pretty good next to this Casey Jones. And then stepping away from Turtles, here we have Casey Jones alongside some of my favorite Mezco figures. On the left, we have Black Bolt, and on the right, we have Dr. Doom. And then, of course, here we have Casey Jones alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and the Marvel Legends Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And then here he is alongside some of my favorite Batman figures. On the left, we have the Mafex Nightfall Night Crusader Batman. And then on the right, we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman. And then for the final size comparison, here we have Casey Jones alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Dick Tracy Prune Face. So if you want to have Casey Jones face off with some Mafia type of guys, I think Prune Face would be perfect for that. And then on the opposite side, we have my original character, Odious. The figure's available now. Be sure to check that out. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. Be sure to take a look if you're interested. It's my original character. I'm very proud of it. I did a Kickstarter last year and it was successful. The figure's been produced and released, so be sure to check that out. And typically, Articulation isn't necessarily one of Mezco's strong suits because of the aesthetic of their figures and the designs of the characters they do, but that is definitely not the case with Casey Jones. Like, his articulation is so much fun. This is probably one of the most fun Mezco figures to play with, up there with like Iron Fist, or, you know, like what else is really fun to play, like Morbius, or like one of those characters that you can actually pose around and enjoy. Like, Casey Jones is right up there with them. I would say that he's probably more fun to play around than any other Mezco because, like, you don't really have to worry about messing up the soft goods, you know, because of the fit and the style. Like, if something gets creased or looks weird, it's like, oh, it's okay, it's Casey Jones, you know, you don't have to really worry about it. So that makes the actual experience of posing around the figure much more enjoyable. And then on top of that, it just seems like all the joints have a lot more range than we're typically used to seeing on Mezco figures. So yeah, man, they did a great job with the articulation, which is not something that we say very often when it comes to Mezco. But let's go ahead and take a look, starting off at the head. So he does have movement at the lower neck and at the upper neck. So using both of those, we get some really nice tilt action. His big 80s mullet does kind of get in the way, but we still get some decent range out of the head and neck area. He can look side to side, which is nice. He can only look up to about right there because of his hair. So if you want him to look up a little bit more, you're going to have to get some help from the torso. He is able to look down a really good amount. Check that out. Boom. So pretty good movement at the head. It's just that the hair kind of hinders things. But I still think you get enough. And the torso, I was really impressed with the torso because I feel like a lot of times on Mezco figures, the torsos are really tight. You know, like they have a cut there, but it doesn't get much movement. With Casey Jones, like it bends a really good amount. Like using the diaphragm and the ball joint at the waist, he's able to crunch forward a really nice amount. Look at that. And then he can go back. Look, damn, look at that. Jeez. It's funny how like it could go back more than it could go forward. But that's still a good amount both ways. But going back is kind of crazy. And then he does get like some side to side action. Is the sweats getting tucked into the joint there? Maybe a little bit. You may want to be careful with that. There we go. Yeah, so the sweats can get tucked into the joint if you're not careful. But yeah, we get some nice side-to-side action. Look at that. Some nice twist from the diaphragm. Can't really twist at the waist. It's a little too tight. But yeah, really good movement at the torso, man. That is awesome. And then for the arms, it's kind of weird because it looks like he has butterfly joints. I mean, there's an extra space in there. It looks like there's an extra joint, but there's no like functioning butterfly joint, but that's okay. He does have ball joints at the shoulder, so his arms do go all the way around. And then they come out to the side a pretty good amount. And you could kind of get his arms in front of him even without the butterfly joint for those awesome like boxing poses and stuff. Boom, what's up? Yeah, he could kind of cross body. Bam. Yeah, that'll work. Even without the butterfly joint, we still get some good stuff going. And the head and the neck kind of help the overall look when you have them in a punching pose. Bam. Really, really dope stuff. Yeah, even without butterfly joints, we have some good stuff going on here at the shoulders. And then he does have upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that get a really good bend. Boom, look at that. At the wrist, he has ball joints that have a hinge, so you can hinge right there, swivel them around, do whatever you need to do. So good stuff at the hands and at the arms in general. And then for the legs, he's able to kick forward a really nice amount. He's able to kick to the side, and again, like, none of the soft goods get in the way. The sweats have like a good amount of give to them, and yeah, you could just get him to do all kinds of fun stuff. Let's see, trying to see if I could bend them more, but that's about it. But yeah, that's pretty good. Nice side kick. Bam. And then he does have an upper thigh swivel in there. He has double jointed knees. They get a really good bend. Look at that. And then at the ankle, we have a swivel, and I don't know what else is going on in there. There's just like a ball joint, but there's a little bit of movement in all directions. So that's nice. Mezco does always struggle with ankles. And Casey Jones, it's not like he has the best ankles ever, but we do get some movement out of it. I think it's just a ball joint in there, so that's cool. And it goes forward to there, up to right there, and then swivels. Not a whole lot of movement at the ankles. But aside from that, the articulation on this guy is freaking awesome. And not only just like the points of articulation, it's just the fun factor. He's so much fun to pose around and play with, and it's nice to not have to worry about like the soft goods. First off, they don't even get in the way that much. And then on top of that, because of his style, like, you don't really have to worry about damaging anything. You know, it's always just going to look good. Or it's always going to look how it's supposed to. But man, this is such a fun figure to play around with. Definitely one of the most fun Mezco figures, if not the most fun Mezco figure that I've ever played with. So I'm very happy with the articulation and the fun factor on this guy. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, man, this figure is so freaking dope. I love every single thing about it. I think that Mezco did a phenomenal job on this guy. They killed it with the Ninja Turtles, and in my opinion, I think they did an even better job on Casey Jones. This thing came out so good. I love the soft goods, you know, like the messed up jean jacket, the crop top, the sweats that almost look like they're too big. It works so good for the character. The accessories are amazing too. All the different pieces of sports equipment, the baseball bats, the hockey stick, or the hockey sticks, the freaking golf club, the golf bag to hold all of it. It's so well done. The figure looks amazing. All the sculpted areas are perfectly done. I like the 3 different head sculpts. The unmasked Casey Jones head sculpt is really nice, but I probably won't display him with it. But I will say that's like a perfect unmasked Casey Jones. I love that we have 2 different masked options. My favorite is the one that's kind of battle damaged and scratched. That looks so good. But man, this is such a great figure. I am so happy with the way it turned out. And like I said before, the design of Casey Jones, like costume or outfit, whatever you want to call it, works so well with the Mezco aesthetic because they didn't really have to worry about making sure that things fit properly. The fact that things kind of don't fit properly on Casey Jones kind of enhances the figure, and that's unique to this character. So yeah, I think that Mezco, they did a great job on this guy. I'm not really sure what else to say other than this guy's going to probably end up being one of my favorite figures of the year. Oh, man, I love it. I just love every single thing about it. They killed it. This thing is awesome. And it's great to have a Casey Jones that's this good to go along with the Ninja Turtles because, you know, when those came out, I was blown away. I thought that Mezco did, like, that's some of the best Mezco stuff we've ever seen. And now Casey Jones surpasses those. This is going to go down as one of my favorite Mezcos for sure because, like, it doesn't suffer from a lot of things that other Mezco figures suffer from, you know? He's got a high fun factor because you could play around with the figure and not worry about damaging the clothing because no matter what happens, it's still gonna look good for the character. And on top of that, I feel like they kind of put more into the articulation with this guy. He's very poseable. He's fun to pose around. You could get him into some cool things, and it just looks great. So Just all the way around, this figure is super enjoyable, looks amazing, fun to play with, crazy accessories, perfect representation of the character, and they just did everything right. If I was to nitpick and look for something to complain about, I would say that the ankles could have been a little better, but aside from that, this thing is perfection. I love it. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. Thank you very much. Peace.